Welcome back everybody to MOTOBOB Vlogs. Out on the Tiger 900 Rally Pro today on some cracking roads between Chepstow and Usk, sort of on the Welsh border kind of area. I'm not exactly sure where I am, but I'm just using my Beeline navigation device. I absolutely love using it just because it's the same app and interface, but I can just swap that between press bikes really easily. So I've got all my saved places and routes in there. So even though you can get navigation on the dash on this bike, and to be honest, most of the other bikes that I borrow now, it's just easier for me to use that. And the battery life is awesome on it, so I only have to charge it like once every couple of weeks. So definitely my choice at the moment for navigation tech, and it's not kind of too big and doesn't ruin the view of the GoPro and stuff. So yeah, cracking little device. I'll probably do a full-on review of it at some point on the main channel, but do check them out. It isn't like fully fledged nav, so you kind of have to know roughly where you're going, and you have to be willing to sacrifice a bit of time if you do take a wrong turn, because occasionally the readout isn't super clear. But I'm in no rush nowadays that I've got all day to make my videos. I just feel so like a million miles from when we were living in London, and it took 2 hours to get out of town, and even if you did, there wasn't really any scenery like this. Whereas here from Bristol, you know, 20 minutes over the bridge, and there's just endless little roads like this that are super quiet. Loads of good places to stop and film. I'm feeling very blessed today with this weather, this bike, these roads. Life is good. But yeah, I've had it for about 2 weeks, the Rally Pro. I mean, the reason I borrowed it is, like, I have already reviewed it, but it was on the launch where we were doing some off-roading and some big country parks, twisty roads in Morocco. And I was kind of wondering, like, what is it actually like, this bike, in the UK when you're just using it to smash up and down the motorway like most adventure bikes do, you know? And it's really been very, very good. Still my favorite adventure bike I've ridden so far, I think, although that could change, because I've just picked up the 890 Adventure from KTM yesterday. I dropped the Trident off with them, so unfortunately no more Trident videos for the foreseeable while I've got the 890 Adventure. But I've never ridden like the middleweight Adventures from KTM, but I did have the 890 Duke R last year, and I love the engine. So it's pretty much the same one, but in a different state of tune in the 890 Adventure. So I am expecting to like it a lot, but this, for me, in my experience, you know, of the bikes I've ridden, this is the benchmark. I've also got the Urban GS from BMW, and when I swap that, I think I'm going to get a 1250 GS, just because, again, I've never actually tried it. So how can I say this is the best when I haven't tried, you know, the biggest selling bike in the UK for the last God knows how many years? But it's going to take some beating, this Tiger, because this last couple of weeks I've done some big miles on it. One of the longest days was going up to Triumph to shoot the Street Scrambler video, and I was on the bike for like nearly 3 hours on the way up, and then same again on the way back down, and I just found it so comfortable. I mean, this has got all the accessories in the world on it, because the Rally Pro already gets most of the accessories catalogue, and then Triumph have added even more on this press bike. They don't normally do that, but sometimes they do a kind of press bike to showcase the accessories. So not only does this have like the crash bars, the quick shifter, the heated grips and seat, and all that stuff that the Rally Pro has, the peripheral lights, but also they've put, what have they put on it? Upper engine bars and the full luggage and like a headlight protector and loads of protection. I don't know if that's because they wanted to showcase the luggage, but it makes it that bit more top heavy, so they're expecting it to get dropped a few times in its press bike life. But anyway, it's cool just to have it with the works on and see what it's really like in this big, massive ship-like format, because if you take everything off and just got the rally, it's quite a small and narrow bike and it feels quite nimble. But yeah, definitely with all the stuff on, you can feel a bit of extra weight, load your luggage up, and it really is in that kind of like touring mode. But yeah, sat in on the motorway for a couple of hours. The riding position is great for me, although I do have to drop the seat down to 850 from the high 870mm setting. But once I'm sat in on it, the bars are in the right position for me, and the screen is just about good enough to get most of the wind over my head. I could probably do with the deflector accessory, just so that I didn't have to slouch. If I just sit down and slouch into it, I don't get the same amount of buffeting, but it's obviously not sustainable for your back to sit like that. But yeah, otherwise it's just been cracking. The engine is great at tanking along the motorway. It does start to vibe as you get up to sort of 85 miles an hour, but at 70 it still feels smooth enough. I think if you're coming from a twin cylinder bike, it'll probably feel pretty normal. Maybe if you're coming from the Tiger 800 with its even firing intervals, this will feel a bit lumpier, but it's pretty bearable, to be honest. And like I say, at 60 and 70, it just feels, I mean, you don't really notice any vibes, to be honest, or I don't. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and find like one of the forestry commission type car parks up here to film my main video for the main MOTOBOB channel. But I've got to say, I'm definitely going to be out here doing a lot more riding. The roads are incredible and they're super quiet. I can't believe how much less traffic there is just this side of the bridge. Look at this. I feel like I'm living the dream today. The only niggle I have with this bike is that the quick shifter requires quite a good stomp. I was out on the Street Triple the other day, Street Triple RS, that has one fitted, and I've got to say that's about as good as it gets in terms of quick shifters. But even my Trident, that quick shifter is better than this one, I think. Oh, this is so good. I love it. Forgive me for my lines and like early braking and all that. Oh, this would be a good place to stop. Oh god, yeah, because I've never ridden these routes before, but I'll learn them. Anyway, hope you enjoyed a bit of riding footage on this bike. Cracking bike, but yes, the quick shifter does require a bit of a stomp every now and again. And I did notice the same on the 890 Adventure as well. And even though that has like a silky smooth gearbox, the quick shifter again requires a bit of a push. And on both that bike and this, occasionally I feel like I'm pressing down quite hard to downshift, and I end up just pulling in the clutch to help it on its way, which kind of defeats the point of it. But I don't know, maybe it just prefers being in the upper part of the rev range. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Beautiful scenery. I think this looks like a great spot for my little video, so check that out on the main channel when it goes up, and I'll see you next time.